You often hear people discussing free will. And the question can be put on the back burner by realizing that you can never go back and figure out if you could have done something differently. But what never seems to come up is the wondering if there is someone, some entity who can or who does not have free will and choice, or if there are different things to choose from. Because you might say, well, I go into my kitchen and there are oranges and apples, and I choose an apple and I eat it. And it was I who decided to go in there and what to choose. But that is just the thought stream painting the story of you. Every word seems to create a thing called you, seemingly in the center. For as soon as one thing is named, apple or orange, then it seems to create all this other world that isn't apple, all these other things that are not apple, and a thing called you. And how can it be realized that you are the thought stream? Well, it certainly isn't a realization that happens to you because you are imaginary. Egos are imaginary. All things are imaginary. There are no things, and there are no lack of things. There is not even nothing. It never feels like there is a someone here doing things, doing life, choosing things. It never feels like there are separate things from which to choose. It never feels like there are separate things separated by space, or separate moments or events divided by time. It never feels like there is a someone walking along a timeline between birth and death. And yet somehow I seem to appear, but there is no feeling of solidity, no feeling of inside or out, just this flowing thought stream that happens to no one, that no one thinks. You are imaginary, and that is quite beyond imagination, isn't it? Enlightenment cannot be understood. It is not a regrouping of ideas into a new and better idea. It is not a set of beliefs or a philosophy to live by. It is not an attainment or a goal. And it is a story like all stories, like the story of endarkenment, like the story of choice or luck. And there's nothing wrong or right with stories. Wrong and right is a story. Nothing true or false. True and false are stories. It is not about becoming free, for there is no one to be free or bound. And in trying to understand this, trying to grasp this, it's just like trying to grab the air. It can't be found, for enlightenment is not a thing. There are no things. The seeking is the trying to get this. The seeker is the trying to get this, seemingly creating a someone and something to get. And if there is seeking, obviously there cannot be someone outside of the seeking trying to stop the seeking. And if you feel like a chooser, can you choose to not feel like the chooser? Of course not. Life happens all by itself. It doesn't come from anywhere or go anywhere. There is no past, no future, no other, better, more, or next. This is it, and not even that. And still, the wind plays in the treetops. Treetops weave the sky with wind. And then there is no lines in this world. All lines are imaginary. We are imaginary. Enlightenment is imaginary. Choice is imaginary. We are the shared dream of separation. This is where love and beauty arise, and love lost, and deep, deep sorrow, and overwhelming joy, and awe at the majesty of it all. With this objectifying brain, with this imaginary separation, awareness, aware of aliveness, there is awareness, aware of being aware. Somehow life, the universe, gets to glimpse its own majesty through your beautiful, beautiful eyes.